Welcome to Silk Road Channel. Once upon a time, in a small village in the middle of a remote mountain range, there was a young man named Min. He lived a simple life, but he always felt restless in his soul, as if something was missing in his life. Every day, Min faced challenges in work, family, and love. He felt like he was lost and could not find peace in his heart. One day, while Min was walking through the forest near the village, he met a stranger. This person was wearing a simple white shirt, his eyes filled with peace and love. The stranger stopped and looked at Min, as if he knew the worries in his soul. "You seem confused," the stranger said. "God has sent me to remind you of something important." Min was surprised and asked, "What does God want to tell me?" The stranger smiled and said, "God will never abandon you, no matter how you feel. God is always with me, even in the most difficult times. God's teaching is to love and trust Him, because His love will bring me peace. The challenges I am facing are just part of life's journey. Look forward with faith and hope, because God will always guide me." Min listened to the stranger and felt a sense of relief in his heart. He understood that the peace he was looking for was not somewhere far away, but was within himself, as he learned to trust in God's unconditional love. From then on, Min returned to his village, living a life with a stronger faith in God. He knew that no matter how difficult life was, God was always by his side, helping him overcome every challenge. God's teaching today is, never feel alone or lose hope. God is always with you, even when you don't see Him. Live with love and forgiveness, for these things will bring peace to your soul. Life can be challenging, but if you trust in God, He will guide you through it all. Keep the faith and always remember that God loves you and is with you every day. Min began to apply the stranger's teachings to his life. He no longer worried about challenges at work or at home. Every morning when he woke up, Min prayed and thanked God for giving him a new day. He realized that, although life was full of difficulties, every moment was an opportunity for him to learn and grow. One day, Min met an old friend named Hai. Hai and Min had had a big argument in the past, and their relationship had become cold. When they met again, Hai seemed shy and avoided Min's eyes. Min remembered the stranger's teachings. Love and forgive, because that is the only way you can find peace. Min realized that to truly live with faith in God, he had to forgive Hai, just as God had forgiven him. "Hello, Hai," Min said, his voice warm. "It's been a long time. I'm so happy to see you again." Hai was surprised, his eyes somewhat bewildered. He did not expect Min to treat him like that after everything. But Min looked at him with sympathy, not blame, and that was exactly what Hai needed. "Min, I am truly sorry for what happened," Hai said, his voice full of remorse. "I know I hurt you." Min smiled and patted Hai on the shoulder. "God taught us about forgiveness. I no longer hold bad things in my heart. If I want to live in peace, I have to let go and love." Hai looked at Min. His eyes began to light up. He felt Min's sincerity and forgiveness. For the first time in many years, Hai felt like he was freed from the pain of the past. The two sat down and began to talk, sharing what had happened in their lives. Min understood that forgiveness not only helps heal the wounds in the relationship, but also brings peace to oneself. Hai also felt like a burden had been lifted from his heart. Today's teaching from God is, forgiveness is not easy, but it is the only way to free yourself from the wounds of the past. God has forgiven us, and we must do the same for those around us. Let love and forgiveness become a part of your daily life. When you forgive, you not only free others, but you also free yourself. Trust in God's guidance, because He always opens a new path, a path that leads to peace, hope, and love. Min continues to live with faith and peace in his heart. He understands that, despite the difficult and challenging times, God will always be there, teaching him how to love, forgive, and find new life in each day. As time passed, Min understood God's teachings more clearly. He felt a change in his heart, and with each passing day, he became more steadfast and hopeful. But life was not always easy. One morning, while Min was working in the fields, he received bad news. His mother, Mrs. Mai, was seriously ill and had to be hospitalized. Min did not know what to do. He felt scared and confused. Mrs. Mai was a gentle mother, always teaching him about patience and care. Every time Min encountered difficulties, she was the one who encouraged him with words of comfort. but now she herself was fighting a serious illness. That night, Min went to the hospital, standing before his mother's bed, his heart filled with worry. Mrs. Mai was lying there, weak and tired. Min held his mother's hand, feeling her weakness, but in his heart there was always a belief that God would not abandon her. Min sat down by the bed and began to pray, his voice choked but hopeful. Lord, please heal my mother. I believe that you have the power to heal all diseases. Please give her the strength to overcome this pain. I know that no matter what happens, you are always with me and my family. As Min prayed, he felt a wonderful peace fill his heart, an unusual sense of calm. He didn't know what it was, but he knew it was God's comfort. He never abandons those who believe in him. In the following days, Mrs. Mai gradually recovered. Her body began to show signs of improvement. The doctors couldn't explain her rapid recovery. Min understood that this was a miracle from God, but more than anything, it was a valuable lesson in faith and patience. Mrs. Mai looked at Min, her eyes shining with gratitude and love. Son, I feel your prayers. I believe that God has heard you and given me the strength to continue living with you. Min held his mother's hand and smiled. He clearly felt that the challenges he and his family had gone through were not accidental. Every difficulty, every pain was an opportunity for him to understand more clearly God's unconditional love and care. Every challenge had a reason, and through it, he learned to trust and love more than ever. Today's teaching from God is, in the most difficult times when you feel tired and hopeless, never lose faith. God is always with you. He hears your prayers and will give you the strength to overcome every challenge. Faith is an important part of life's journey. When you trust in God, you will find peace in every situation. And even if you cannot understand the reason behind each trial, God will always guide you through it. Be patient, because God will never abandon you. Healing can come in many forms, but if you trust and pray, you will feel God's presence in every step of your journey. Min returned to life with a deeper faith in God. He understood that the peace and hope he sought was not outside of himself, but within himself. And each day he felt more grateful to be able to live a life filled with love, forgiveness, and faith in God. When Mrs. Mai fully recovered, Min felt a sense of peace and gratitude spread in his heart. But life continued with new challenges. One day, while working in the fields, Min came across a strange man, looking haggard and tired. The man had a sad look in his eyes, as if he was carrying a deep pain. Min approached and asked, "Hello, sir? Do you need any help? It seems like you are having a hard time." The man looked at Min with sad eyes, then slowly replied, "I have lost everything. My wife passed away last year, and I cannot support my 2 young children. I have tried everything, but I still cannot escape poverty. I do not know what to do anymore." Min sensed the desperation in the man's words. In that moment, he remembered God's teachings about unconditional love and compassion. God never wants us to live in loneliness or suffering. God wants us to love and share with those who need help. Min thought for a moment and then said to the man, "God has taught us that in difficult times we are never alone. Everyone can help others, no matter how small or big. If you need help, I will do my best to support you." The man looked at Min with surprised eyes. He did not expect that a stranger could be willing to help him in such a difficult time. Min not only spoke but also invited the man to his home, had a simple meal together, and shared stories about life. Min did not have much money or property, but he had love and sincerity, and those were the things that God taught him to share with others. During the meal, Min talked with the man, listening to his pain and worries. He shared with him about God, how faith in him had helped Min get through difficult times in his life. He advised the man that no matter what the circumstances, they could find hope and faith in God. God never leaves us in despair, Min said. He always gives us new opportunities to start over and start over. The next day, Min and the man visited a nearby village where there was a charity that helped poor families. There, the man was guided through jobs that could help him earn a living and take care of his family. Min not only helped him financially, but also gave the man confidence that there was still good in this life and that God would always guide them through their trials. As time passed, the man gradually stabilized his life. and every time he saw Min, he thanked him for the help and love Min had shown him. He realized that even though life is full of hardships, love and kindness are the powers that can help him overcome all difficulties. Today's teaching from God is, unconditional love is the greatest power we can share with others. God teaches us that when we help others, we not only bring joy to them, but also bring joy to ourselves. Never think that you cannot help others because you do not have enough resources or abilities. A word of encouragement, a small action, or just sharing can change someone's life. Even in the most difficult circumstances, God is always with you and will guide you through all challenges. Never lose faith in Him and in the goodness of life. Min continues to live a life with deep faith in God. He understands that every day, every act of love, forgiveness, and sharing is a way for him to show God's love to this world. He knew that no matter how difficult life was, with love and faith in God, he would always find peace and hope. After a while, Min became a person who was loved and respected by many people in the village. He was not only a hard worker, but also an example of patience, kindness, and faith in God. Everyone knew that, despite difficulties, Min was always willing to share his help with anyone in need. One day, while Min was sitting in a small corner of a shop in the village, a woman named Lan came to see him. Lan was a single woman, living with 2 small children, and her life was always full of difficulties. She rarely shared her worries with others, but today, she felt the need to find someone to talk to. Min noticed the worry in Lan's eyes. He invited her to sit down and asked, "Is there something bothering you?" Lan was silent for a moment, then said, "I don't know what to do anymore, Min. I don't have enough strength to take care of the children anymore. My job is unstable, and money is always lacking. I'm afraid that I won't be able to continue raising my children in this challenging world." Min listened with sympathy, and then he gently replied, "God has taught us that, no matter what difficulties we have, we can still find hope if we keep the faith. Don't think that you have to face everything alone. God is always with you, and we can help each other too." Lan looked at Min, surprised at his calmness and determination. "Min, I don't know how to thank you, but I feel like I've found a little light in the darkness." Min smiled and continued, "Don't feel alone. We live in a community, and everyone can support each other. If you need help, I'm here. We can't change the past, but we can take control of the future with faith and action." After that conversation, Min and Lan went to charities in the village where there were people willing to help families in need. Min not only helped Lan connect with resources, but also shared his faith in God, helping her understand that life can always change if we keep hope and perseverance. As time passed, Lan began to change. She found a more stable job, thanks to the support of the community and Min's encouragement. Although life was still not easy, Lan learned to believe in herself and in the people around her. She felt grateful for the help of Min and others in the village, and from then on, she was determined to share good things with those who were less fortunate than her. Today's teaching from God is, when you feel like everything is falling apart, don't give up. God never abandons you. He is always there, leading you through the difficulties, and He will lead you to new opportunities to change your life. Never think that you have to face every challenge alone. We live in a community where love and help from everyone can make a big difference. Seek support when you need it, and don't hesitate to help others when they need it. Faith in God is not just hope for the future, but also action in the present. God will guide you, but you must have perseverance, openness, and determination to do good things. Min continues to live a meaningful life, always looking for ways to share his love and faith with those around him. He understands that each day is an opportunity to bring light to the world, and that God will always be there to guide him through life. Min believes that as long as he loves and trusts in Him, no challenge can stop him from achieving peace and happiness.